Good afternoon, race fans. Welcome along to Season 1, Round number 5 of the Formula GT World Challenge. 60 minutes of Barcelona ahead of us today. It was 2 hours of the Nürburgring last time out. We are running slightly behind, so we will gloss over the standings. The drivers are all already out on track. Let's get some action from them. Excellent, we'll get them out and running. We'll have a quick look at the standings. We can see in the pros it's Karel Mulder leading the way with Robert Bjorkman in second place, Richard Walters in third, and Skylar Loverink there in fourth position. Luke Wilson in fifth. Vegard Johansson no longer in the competition, I believe. Jose Martin in 11th, and it is Magnus Haukeby that is in 8th place after 4 races, only 2 points behind Martin's 7-point cushion. Back to Nicholas Kraus in 9th place. Pietro Brescia in 10th position on 10 points. In the silvers, Ian Lance leading the way in the BMWs, and it is indeed a BMW 1-2. As himself and Simon Zajac in first and second. Christian Wood in third place with Thomas Bossatelli in third. Double O Oscar, the best double O in this one, is in fourth place. Tied on a 3-way tie, Chloe Hazel and Magnus Augustovskis in tied 4th position, all on 23 points. So in 5th then, Guilherme Goncalves in 5th position there with 21 points, only a point ahead of Kieran Macy, so phenomenally close in the mid-pack of the silvers. Ryan Clements in 7th, and it is Selashev in 8th, Charlie Thornton in 9th, and Jorge Esteban joint 10th position again on 10 points with Johnny Ambersley. And in the arms, it's Mishan Wallace in the Ferrari. Great race last time out with the Nürburgring, atop the table with 34 points, tied with Jay Fraser. Drew Downing in second with Lewis Evans in third place, only 5 points behind. He's got a 4-point gap over Conrad, who's only 2 points ahead of Salgakar, with Tassinato and Koshira in 6th and 7th. Aren and Walu in 8th and 9th. Walu in fact are tied on 7 points with Nagy and Seth Johnston in 6th position. So yeah, quick rundown there. We're slightly behind, some fun technical issues. All the fun of the fair. Let me just get the chat up if we can. There we go, perfect. It is Barcelona that we're here for, built in 1991. They started construction in 1989. I actually visited it as a child in 1990, so there we go. Back in the day, we've got, not quite got the opening. Oh no, we just have, there we go, Jace Algarcar obliging right on cue. 3 10-minute qualifying sessions. It's the arms that take the track first. Salgakar, a very respectable 45.8. Although 2 tenths quicker than Harry Howard in the Beecham AMR. Not new to the competition, and that is quite the way to make an entrance. 2 thousandths quicker than Salgakar. KC, that is Conrad. There's Jay Fraser we're watching there. He's 2 seconds off the pace. He's gone 5th place. KC bang on a second off the arm pole at the minute. Kashira there in 8th place. Nope, because Drew Downing has just crossed the line. Time's coming in thick and fast. We'll see Akin and Amer pop one in as well. There's Johnson crossing the line to go 8th. It's still Howard leading the way. The Porsche driver, Bashir Amir, he's just out the pits. Bit of lag there. Bit of a lag spike. Hopefully no lag spikes in the stream now that we've got everything. Oh, those. Okay. So the incorrect standards, apologies. Okay, so it is actually Bjorkman that's leading the way in the pros. We've got the arms. The arm standards, it is Jay Fraser. So yeah, my apologies, the top three, it's actually Jay Fraser leading the way, Mishan Wallace in second, and Jay Salgakar in third place. We'll maybe get a trimmed down version of that for the stream next time out. It's Salgakar leading the way in qualifying at the minute. He's now 6/10 ahead of Howard, so he's fairly picked up the pace. Mishan Wallace too. Driver fairly well cheered on in the last race, if I remember correctly, and I'm pretty sure I do. In third place at the moment, we've got two of the ARM drivers still to set a time. Alan Fox is one of them. He's just coming in to the final chicane now. Round the last corner. When I say coming through the final chicane, of course the chicane that no longer exists. Let's see what Fox can do. Oh, he was still on an outlap, so he's still got a bit of time to find, although saying that a bit of time, he's only got 3 minutes left of the session. In fact, sorry, Evans as well. Another one of the ARM drivers still a set of time. Well down the order, he's in fact in the pits. So it doesn't look like he's going to get his time set. Up at the front, big moves in the making for Mishan Wallace. Finlay O'Reilly got his team Jensen McLaren up into 5th place, and almost identical time to Jay Fraser, 5 thousandths separating these two, but Fraser on an absolute flyer. O'Reilly carrying a fair bit of time as well. He is further back in the lap, so let's see what Fraser does. And he's got some good time, so too does Mishan Wallace. This time up at the top is only going to get quicker and quicker as Salgakar threatens to go quicker. Jay Fraser does improve, goes up to 5th. Let's see what Howard does. Wow, so he is up to 3rd place then with a 1:45.8. So still within 6:10. Salgakar lost the time he had. Finlay O'Reilly then. Biggest gain at the minute. Can he carry it through the RACC chicane? That will be no more all too soon. Round the last. Oh, and he's lost a lot of time through there. He was 6/10 up there. He was looking at it, certainly keeping Fraser company. Doesn't find anywhere near that improvement. So at the minute in the arms, it's Aiken in 14th. Oh, and in fact, Amar just pops into the pits, and someone has just, Akis Nagy has popped his McLaren up in there as well, because Shera has got a time. So too Alan Fox has got himself a time on the board. That's put him 11th. So 14 of the 15 arms have got a time in, and they've got 57 seconds to start a lap. Wallace goes quicker, he's within a 10th and a half of Salgakar now. 4/10 up. A couple of cars. Tassinato and Martins won't be taking part in the race. Let's see how Howard's getting on. In fact, Nagy as well, 7/10 up, 2 down and 4. Alan Fox at 4/10 up as well. Quality bans for a couple of the drivers, got ya. Wallace into the pits then, so no improvement for him. Conrad is still deep into the lap, just coming onto the back straight. We've got Fox stationary, so he won't be improving on his time, although he was showing some good pace through Sector 2. He's going to need to get it done in the race. It is one of the 1 hour races this evening. The season, of course, split between the 1 and 2 hour events. Oh, Conrad's lost that time, unfortunately. Aaron, on the other hand, Aaron in the McLaren. I'm not going to apologise for that one. He comes round into the penultimate corner complex, or really steps the back of the McLaren out there. He's got an Audi very close to him. That will be the silvers out on track as well. We'll get confirmation on the ARM qualifying as soon as Aaron crosses the line. Does have some time there, could take 13th position, and no improvement, so Aaron will have to come in the pit then. Pulls off the track there as all the ARMs pulling over. Let's have a look at the qualifying so far then, and it is Salgakar. Salgakar that's taken 2 purple sectors in the top spot for the ARMS. Wallace not far behind, the 10th and a half separating the front row of the ARMS. It's going to be spicy. Howard and Casey on the second row, with Fraser and O'Reilly on row 3. Nagy and Johnson on row 4, with Downing and Kashera. Row 5 is Fox and Amer on row number 6, 13th and 14th. It's Wallou and Aiken, and 15th position will be Aaron. And that is how the ARMS will line up, although Kashera's still out on track. Quick bit of math, I'm not 100% sure he should still be there, but we'll be back in a second as we see the silvers are out on track. Is Ian Lance who is leading the way. So I did kind of get the results right. It is Ian Lance that is leading the way in the silvers. There he is in the BMW. Not 100% convinced the new motion of blurring the software is working the way it should. That does look a bit janky. But there is Lance, as I say, leading the way in the silvers. You'll be hoping to strengthen that grip with a good performance here. They're all on their flying lap now. It'll be interesting again to see Mason Wallace showing some good pace, so too Salgakar last week. Howard certainly keeping pace with them at the moment. It'll be interesting to see if they can mix it with the class ahead and where their qualifying will get them out. Overall, at the moment, 37 cars we've got on track, on the confines of the track, either in the pits or on track doing their qualifying. 15 of them, almost half the field in the ARMS. Evans is in the silvers, that's why he's out qualifying just now. He just doesn't quite have the correct tag on his name, and I'm sure Becchia is in the silvers. Lance coming through the final few corners. I'll tell you what, actually we'll jump on board and have a look at the track that the drivers are going to be dealing with. That is the last corner. It is New Holland. There is the pits on the right hand side. The pros waiting on the track to get fully rubbered in by the lower classes. Into turn number 1, of course, Elf. Really want to use as much curb as you can right through here, up into Renault. Bit of a lift, just balance the weight of the car so you can get the foot down nice and early. Just let it rotate out, hopefully keeping it between the mail and the mustard. That is as wide as you like to be, braking right out wide on the curbs then into Repsol. Downhill into Say, of course, looking for the little escape road there on the right hand side as the marker. There is the tarp, there's the rubber already laid down on the curbing. Very tight through Say. They're not through Worth, of course, very reminiscent of the Schumacher S. An homage, in fact. This corner is It's similar but uses the opposite camber. So they go through Kamsa, onto the back straight, then into Lakeksa. Oh, Formula 1, what have you done to my beloved Lakeksa? No longer the corner. Looks like this on the circuit. You do of course go past those red and white barriers. Oh, and that's a lot of tyre squealing there. Really heavy on the brakes is Lance. And in fact, he does have a time on the board. We're seeing the silvers pop the times in, and it's Chloe Hazel that's gone top at the minute with a 1:45.0. As we saw Lance here coming through Bank Sandoval, that's down into Eurocar and then into the RACC chicane. Oh, really hitting that sausage curve and then back in to New Holland as we'll see him cross the line. Does he have any improvement on his time? That is a big old wide camera shot there. Lance, no improvement there, but there we go, top at the minute. Chloe Hazel in the McLaren, leading the way in the silvers. Lance in second place. It's Bossatelli who's currently in third. Then Nico Dudek and Selishev, who are fourth and fifth. Esteban is in sixth place. Seventh is Wood. Then it's Ambersley. In ninth position, 10th position actually, 9th position still, sorry. Zajac in 10th. It's always fun trying to make your way through these guys. Charlie Thornton there, 20th overall, on the cusp of the top 10 in the silvers. Goncalves still to set a time. Ian Lance has improved on his time so far, and is definitely getting quicker. Where is the time? There it is. Lance in the corner, last corner, so he is down. Nico Dudek in the Lamborghini. He is looking quick at the moment. That's Bank Sandoval navigated. 2 minutes 40 left. Time doesn't half fly when you are multi-class qualifying. 2.5 minutes left for the silver class to get their times in, and at the moment a couple of the AM times stacking up really well. Salgakar and Wallace there still inside the top 5 overall. Zajac 3/10 up on his lap at the minute. In fact, he's got a good 5/10 in his pocket. They're heading down towards Seat and finding a bit more time as well, so the track definitely rubbering in and getting a bit quicker as we move our way through the session. Thornton down on his time at the minute. Gostakovskis 5/10 up on him. Zajac a second up. This will put him inside the top 10 if you can carry this one home. Ian Lance is carrying time, so too is Selishev. But we'll stay on board with Simon Zajac and see what he can do through the final sector. 1.2, just finding time hand over fist at the minute. This could be 7th position potentially. Let's see what he can do into the RACC. Again, another driver absolutely not exactly liberal amounts of curbs that they're taking there, right out wide, so you can turn it in as much as possible, get the foot down as early as possible, straight run for the line. This is a quick time and it's put him up to 7th position. Puts him within half a second of pole, and he's got time to get another lap in. The silver driver's now got 48 seconds to cross the line to get a lap time in. At the moment, Christian Wood is up on his time. Oscar is up on his as well. Thornton at the minute, 21st overall. No improvement on his time at the minute. And Goncalves still to set a time. Turn number 1. Oscar with a bit of time in his hand. Doesn't look like we're going to see many improvements now. Ian Lance did take pole position while I was looking at that, so he's taken pole in the silvers, just ahead of Chloe Hazel, who's still out on track, unless she has an absolute worldie of a last corner here. I think Lance is going to keep it. Really did try to push it through that last chicane and ended up losing time, but it was all there, 0.1 down on the way into that last chicane, so it was certainly worth taking the rest time push to find that extra couple of tenths. But at the minute, Hazel in second position, and it does look like it's going to be a pretty solid second place. It doesn't look like many of the other silvers are improving too much on their time. Bossatelli, the closest at the moment, is 2 tenths up on his lap time. Oh, and Charlie Thornton finding some time as well. This will sneak him up a couple of positions. In fact, that's a good 6 tenths that he's got there. Oscar still up on his time. We'll see what Charlie does coming through the final sector, and then we'll get a confirmation on the silver qualifying times. Almost said arms there again. I'm obsessed with arms. The pros that are out on track are already a minute into their qualifying session. Thornton round the last corner. Puts himself top 20 overall, so good lap time there. Oscar still out on his last lap as well. He's got some time in his pocket. Only 3 of the silvers managing to get ahead of the arms. That's how close it is. Everybody knows Barcelona. Phenomenal track this one for the racing, and as Oscar goes up to 10th position, so that's 8th. That puts him in class. In fact, let's do this the more reliable way. So in the silvers it is Lance and Hazel who are leading the way, although Goncalves is still out on track. But at the moment for the silvers, it's Lance, Hazel, Esteban and Bossatelli on the front 2 rows. Selashev, Zajac, Dudek and Oscar 5th through 8th. Christian Wood in 9th position, and Ambersley rounding out the top 10, and the back of a trio of Aston Martins, the highest 3 manufacturers outside of those occupying the top 5, the BMWs, the Porsches, the Ferraris and the McLarens particularly. Looking strong there in that silver class. Augustovis and Goncalves, who is coming around the last corner now, so we'll see. Oh, that's not the last corner, sorry, it's the final chicane. He is ahead of Thornton, who's 13th, and Clements, who hasn't set a time there. And Goncalves comes into the pits, so he will start in 12th place. And you can see overall there, Salgakar and Wall is still in the top 5 after the silvers had qualified. So a solid showing. There's Bjorkman who's leading the championship. A solid showing there, and indeed Howard there just on the cusp of getting inside the top 10 after the class above it qualified there, 11th position. Furthest down the field for the silvers, Charlie Thornton going to start in 12th. Oh sorry, Clements will start down further down the 31st actually, because there's still cars to set times behind them. So it is the pros that are now out on track qualifying. Oops. Nope. As we see, Luke Wilson pops on across the line. 13th position for Luke. More times coming in. In the Bentley then, he's just gone 14th, as we can see Beckia and Bjorkman already mixing it up in the front few rows overall. Bjorkman takes the class lead with a 1:45.2. Ian Lance with a 44.7, sitting on pole at the minute. Bjorkman in the Merc being chased by Beckia in the Audi. Almost identical time he set to 1:45.285. Bjorkman 1:45.235. So half a tenth separating the lead two pros at the moment. Wilson then in 3rd place, and a lot of drivers down the field still to set some times. Kraus and Walters making their way through the final sector, so we'll see what their opening times can do. I'm sure the drivers will be grateful as well, the nice cool track conditions. 25 degrees it is at the minute. Walters very quick, there we go. I did think the BMW was on for a bit of a spanker there. The way sector times were lighting up, he takes provisional pole in the pros and joins Bjork. Oh no, sorry, I'm talking absolute nonsense, because Bjorkman is already there with a 144.6. Becky and Walters 2nd and 3rd. Kraus goes up to 4th place. Yeah, so Kraus is in 4th position for the pros. Wilson now 16th overall, but 5th for the minute. Still quite a few drivers to get some time set. Oh no, Tassinato on a ban, and Martin's not racing. No, so Luke Wilson is bringing up the rear of the pros. 5th place, as I say. He's got a bit of a gap to make up to get to Kraus. He's needing to find 6 tenths. He is 2 tenths up. Walters is out on track. He is 2 tenths up as well. Lance's time looking all the better then. So the silver, the arm's still mixing it in the top 10 at the minute, with only Wilson really likely to get past him. So if he does, they're still going to be inside the top 10. So that's a great start, and Ian Lance could find himself on the front row of the grid from the silvers, which would be quite the achievement. I'm sure that'll have him grinning ear to ear. Walters crosses the line. No improvement, less than 2 tenths separating the front 4 of the race. And then we've got a similar gap between 4th and 5th. Hazel, another silver driver, mixing it in the top 10, still inside the top 5. Nicholas Kraus, one-time pole sitter, now finds himself 6th position overall still. 4th for the pros. All eyes on Wilson really in the Bentley. He's just starting this lap. 2 minutes left for them to get their times set, and we'll have the 37 car grid fully decided. Bjork went up, and in fact Nicholas Kraus as well has found some major time there at the start of sector number 2. And this is an assault on pole position, potentially. He's got Bjorkman behind him, so we'll stay on board with Kraus. He should be the next car to cross the line. Yeah, Wilson is a fair bit behind. Wow, Kraus is going to... And Richard Walters has just suddenly found a lot of time there at the start of sector 3. Oh, but he's lost it again. So I think he might have missed his brakes slightly into Lakexa. It's an awkward timing line there. It's right on the braking zone for Lakexa. So if you get it wrong and save it, it can sometimes register that as your sector time, which can be very confusing. Nicholas Klaus 4 tenths up. This is going to be close, but Bjorkman is up on his time as well. And Kraus then, no improvement on his time despite it saying he was 4 tenths up. Confusion reigns supreme. Let's see if Bjorkman's telemetry is telling the truth or not. It says he is 2 tenths quicker. And he is 2 tenths quicker. 1 minute 44.432, 3 tenths ahead of Lance in second. Walters ahead of Breccia, less than a tenth separating these two. And Wilson, the lowest qualified pro at the moment, finds himself in 14th place overall. So Salgakar and Wallace 8th and 9th. Esteban in the top 10 as well, in the silvers. And Ian Lance, what a drive and what a qualifying session from him to find himself on potentially the front row of the grid. I'm saying that we've got plenty of time left for the pros to put paid to that. Walters and Breccia, I'm sure will be keen to. Luke Wilson is quicker on this lap. Enough to see him potentially sneak it into the top 10 right in the death here. Let's see what Breccia can do in the Audi. In fact, he has a fair bit to go before he gets to the end of the lap. So yeah, let's see what Kraus does. He's going to be the next driver across the line. Nope, because he is peeling into the pits. Richard Walters will cross the line. Will he see any improvement? Oh, it was close. He was only a 10th down on his PB there. Pietro Becchia then for the Attento racing car. That is him through Sandoval. And he is green on the Delta, only just though. If he can cut even a 10th here, would see him. Oh, and the back of the car's gone, and that is qualification. Done and dusted for Pietro. And there we'll get confirmation. It is Bjorkman taking first place overall and leading the way for the pros. 2 purple sectors. Ian Lance take a bow in the BMW Purples sector number 1 and gets himself on the front row of the grid. Walters is going to start in 3rd overall, 2nd in the pros, with Becchia in 3rd, Kraus in 4th, and Wilson in 5th position. But there is the starting lineup overall. Bjorkman, Lance, Walters and Becchia the front 2 rows. Hazel, another silver there in the top 10, along with Esteban in 7th. Salgakar leading the way for the AMS. And it's Wilson and Wallace rounding out the top 10. Bossatelli in 11th. Selishev in 12th place. Zacek, Dudek and Oscar starting 13th, 14th and 15th. Oscar side by side on row 8 with Howard. Christian Wood and Ambersley are going to be 17th and 18th, with Evans and Augustovskis in 20th position, Goncalves in 21st, and Conrad in 22nd place. Fraser, Thornton and O'Reilly 23rd, 24th and 25th, with Nagy and Johnson 26th and 27th place. Downing and Kashera starting 20th and 29th, with Fox and Amer 30 and 31st position. Mulu in 32nd, Aiken and Areen in 33rd and 34th, and Clements starting in 35th position. 6 seconds separating the whole field, but only a second separating 12th through to 21st, and half a second separating the top 5. So this is going to be a phenomenally close racing for round number 5 of the Formula GT World Challenge. It is season 1. This is one of the 1 hour races. Only 5 tyre sets for the drivers to use. There's Bjorkman. That is a terrible camera positioning. There we go. So the drivers 2 minutes and 40 seconds before the start their warm-up lap. Promises to be another absolute good one. Yavorage, let's go Zacek in the chat. We've got Senin Ra. Hopefully I'm pronouncing these some close, even close to correct would be good. If I do mispronounce anything, feel free to pop a correct pronunciation in the chat and I'll do my best to get it correct. Who else are we all cheering on then? Any Mason Wallace fans in the chat? There was quite a few of them the last time out. Right, for some reason that says top chat and not live chat. Is that different? Hopefully I haven't missed any messages. Hopefully you're looking forward to this as much as I am. Like I say, 1 hour around Barcelona. I absolutely love this track. And we've got 37 drivers that are going to be taking part in this one. It's going to be very good. Still to come in the competition right up to December the 3rd. Oh yeah, we've got Tales of Bathurst next time out. That's the 23rd of July. Misano is the 13th of August with Kailami on the 17th of September. Zolder is the 1st of October. And then on the 29th of October, it is Suzuka, Donington Park. That is an interesting track indeed. 19th of November. And then the season finale. Where else? Spa-Francorchamps. 2 hours long will be the race there. But it is a 1 hour race for this evening. Just some success penalties being handed out from the previous rounds. Yes, was pronounced greatly. Thank you. Oh, excellent. Thank you very much. Glad we got that one spot on. Let's have a look at the 8:05 in the morning. It's going to be for the drivers out on track. So yeah, beautiful sunrise for them to contend with. There they are there. There we go. Good mix of cars as well. Luke Wilson repping for the Bentley. I get to say this every time I see him in the Bentley. He's such a rare creature, the Bentley in ACC these days. Kind of like the Nissan GTR. You do rarely see them, but it used to be all the rage, especially the Bentley. Obviously not so much the Nissan, but the Bentley, you could not do any kind of endurance racing without having a 70% field full of Bentleys because of that petrol tank. Oh yes, that petrol tank. I mean, kudos to Bentley. They knew what they were doing when they designed the car, that's for sure. With all the balancing of power, that's all been sorted out in the Bentley. Nowhere near as popular as it used to be. Oh, look at those views. Hopefully you're getting some semblance of that on the stream. That is a lot of brake warning, so let's not do that to your poor ears. Everyone furiously trying to warm their brakes. The track temperature, 26 degrees, so slightly up on qualifying, but certainly not hot by any means. The Ferrari drivers, I'm sure, will be extra grateful of that, given the way the Ferrari tyres are wearing these days. Expecting a solid race between Sarwikar and Wallace. Some great racing between the two of them last time out. Okay. Yeah, so those two leading the way for the silvers. Of course, Harry Howard making an appearance in the Aston, 3rd place. He's qualified 16th overall. At all. Oscar ahead of him with a 10-second penalty, so he knows his positions are there for the taking as well. Oh, Emir starting in the pits. Tassinat Martins have served out their quality bands. They're going to start at the back of the grid. Clemens down there in the Audi. That is Worth. Oh no, that's after Worth. That is Lakeksa. We are nearly there. Looking forward to getting this one going. There is a very good reason this is the Formula 1 test track. Although massively disappointed in the changes that have been instituted on behalf of the Formula 1 drivers, but hey ho. Thankfully those changes not implemented on ACC yet. Hurrah! So we get to enjoy this track in its proper glory. And it's going to be a 1 hour sprint for the drivers. Hang on to your seats, this is going to be good. 37 of them, in fact 36 of them out on track at the moment. One starting from the pits, and there is the green lights. His foot down, it's flat out, and they're heading straight towards turn number 1. And it's Bjorkman who's got a good run, but there is Walters on the outside. making good moves as well. In fact, he's trying to move back over the middle, but Berecki has closed them off there, so it's going to be 3 wide into turn number 1 between the lead group. They've all made it through beautifully in the background. More 4 wide action there. Charlie Thornton right in the middle of the action as well. We've got one car running slightly wide at the back there, but everyone's made it through, and that is a beautifully careful rejoin. Oh, and the BMW's come over. He's collected the Honda. Oh, that is the Honda of Clements. No, it's not, sorry, it's Martins. Oh! And there's been a bit... Oh, that is a big pile up there. That is completely through the telemetry, completely all over the place. Let's see if we can find out exactly what happened there. Was Conrad involved in that? I think he was. Let's have a look back here. As we can see, so everyone made it perfectly through turn number 1. The BMW collected, oh, and it was up near the front end. That's Mishan Wallace, in fact. So it was Mishan Wallace that was involved, and then it just escalated massively from there. Almost blind. Of course, the drivers, as it's coming around that corner, get themselves a full windscreen full of blinding sunshine, and it looks like that's caused a massive concertina effect. And there's going to be some huge positional changes then, as we'll have a look at the field then. Bjorkman leading the way, Breccia in second, and the Audi coming under all kinds of pressure there from Walters. Ian Lance, oh, the BMW touches him up the inside, and it completely sends him off. Not quite a full shadow realm in there, but the Audi having to use the escape road. I tell you what, that is a blessing in disguise almost there for Pietro Becchia. Bjorkman was showing him an absolutely phenomenally clean pair of heels in. He's taking a tap in the rear quarter panel for Richard Walters. He's had to use that escape road, and that has launched him back into contention for first position. Into turn number 1, we can see Walters mounting into those curves, and Lance leading the way still for the Silvers. Hazel in second, Dudek in third place. It's Harry Howard leading the way in the arms, with Johnson in second position. Oh, and he's lost it through turn 1. Johnson in second place then in the Silvers. Finds that he loses it then into turn number 1. I wonder which curve was he hit. Let's have a look. Tell you what, let's use the forbidden far chase cam, and we'll have a look at the turnover. All action all the way through the field. There's been a big collection. We still need to find out where Mishan Wallace and the gang is. Seth Johnson has tumbled. Oh, he just completely missed his break. Oh, don't do it. Yeah, you can't hit the accelerator and go over those yellow sausage curves. Golden rule at any racetrack. Don't do it. We have multitude of cars in the pits. Goncalves, Charlie Thornton's in there, so is Aymer, Evans, O'Reilly in the pits, Aaron, Nicholas Kraus from the pros finds himself into the pits as well. So a lot of cars involved in that will be getting their mandatory pit stop done early doors. This is incredible stuff. Where is Mishan Wallace? There he is, down in 27th position. So at the minute outside the top 10 in the arms, with Foxon down in the head of him. Oscar with that 10-second penalty to serve in the Silvers. Got Amberley and Gustowskis not too far ahead, a close bunch of the cars here. You can see Nagy, who was the pro, who was one of the Hondas that was caught out in that early. Oh, and he's gone way late on the brakes here. He's run far too deep. Maybe getting a bit overexcited and watching the overtake action up ahead. That's Salgakar making big moves on Wooloo in the McLaren into turn number 1. It's a straight drag race. Oh, and it's a stop go for speeding in the pit lane for the BMW. And there's another car rejoining from the pits as well, and it's Evans, Lewis Evans has got a stop go 30-second penalty for speeding on the exit to the pit lane. Oscar up at 23rd, watching this battle between Ambersley, Augustovskis, Kashira and Salgakar leading the way, still trying to get his way. In fact, he has got past Wooloo, sorry. So it's actually Wooloo that is the cork in the ball. Oh, and he's just run a bit wide there, and he's let another car up the inside there. So Wooloo losing 2 positions in a couple of corners. Let's get a proper helicam, and this is Ambersley and Kashira not far behind. That Honda of Nagy's made up a couple of positions there as well. That'll be confirmed in a second. There is Downing now behind it. Oh, the Honda ahead, that is really late on the brakes here. No, that was Nagy's. The liveries are very similar between the BMW and the Audi, but it was the Audi and Nagy really late on the brakes there, and that's given Downing what can only be described as a golden opportunity to get himself a double slipstream as Nagy and Oscar. Oh no, that's Evans that's just out of the pits. That's blue flags. Yeah, so that is blue flags. So he does need to get himself out of the way fairly quickly there. Mason Wallace just getting backed up there into Conrad. Oscar getting involved in that battle as well. Up in the front, Bjorkman now back to doing what Bjorkman does. He's got a 2.5 second lead after Breccia was gifted a bit of a bump draft from his competitors. The gap between the front two now back out to 2.3 seconds. Ian Lance still all over the back of Walters then, but he's got Hazel has closed right up, so the battle for the lead in the silvers really is coming to life then. Lance started the race on the front row of the grid and then finds himself 4th position. In fact, Bossatelli, Selishev, Martins as well. There's battles absolutely right through the field here. Selishev and Bossatelli going out. They've got Zacek just ahead. Zacek, who was getting some cheers in the chat. John Green, how are we doing? Good afternoon, welcome in. I hope you're enjoying the racing action. I hope you're able to keep up with the racing action because the commentator is struggling, I can promise you. Ryan Clements, he's not struggling with the Audi. He's got Christian Wood just ahead of him. Jose Martins, who has just got the overtake done there in the Honda. Nicely done on Howard. Howard now coming under pressure from Christian Wood. So Howard promoted a couple of positions with that big coming together on lap number 1. Absolutely stunning views through sector number 3, and you can see that Wood is a bit quicker than Howard at the moment, the silver driver. Oh, let's get back up to see Chloe Hazel trying to get an overtake potentially. She's watching a 3-way battle up ahead as Walters and Lance are going out. They've gone past the blue flag Porsche. They're side by side into turn number 1. Is Lance going to make this one stick on the brakes? Beautiful rotation on the curve. Oh, and there's a bit of contact through the middle phase of the corner. Lance does get the position done. And Chloe Hazel watching this as well. The blue flagged Porsche there just out of position. Chloe just adjusted for that. The Porsche getting well and truly out of the way there. A bit of netcode there, so I think potentially a little bit of lag, but it is Ian Lance back up to 3rd position with a 10-second penalty there to serve in the pit stops. Nagy again, more battling here. This time it's Honda, McLaren and Lamborghini. Downing with ringside seats to the battle between the cars ahead. And it is Nagy and Wolu. Nagy getting the overtake done on the way into turn number 1. And on the way out, very cleanly done indeed. Down towards Seat. There's confirmation there. Nagy up to 22nd position, now 4th in the silver class. So this is the closest cars in silver. Oh no, sorry, I do apologise. That's the much further order than that, of course, because Howard is still leading the way. Apologies, Howard. But yeah, he's still leading the way, still ahead of Wood as well. Wilson up to 13th position after all the early goings on. Chloe Hazel all over the back now of Richard Walters. So Ian Lance, since he's got himself ahead of Walters, absolutely no looking back, and he has thrown Walters to the wolves in the form of Chloe Hazel in the McLaren. Walters now finds himself sandwiched between the battle for the lead in the silver class. No such battles for Bjorkman. We can see he is absolutely flying. 1 minute 45.032, his quickest time already. 4.3 seconds up the road. Hazel still pestering Walters, and Ryan Clements then. Beautiful move there in the Audi. Let's have another watch of this one. This is through the ACC chicane, so towards New Holland. Oh, it's all about the exit there of the Audi. You can just see the gap closing there. The Bentley doing everything it can, but no reply for the straight line speed, especially in the slipstream. The Audi actually pops out the slipstream nice and early then. Such is the speed that he's got on the brakes into turn 1. Beautifully positioned, great rotation, job done. Both cars between the male and the mustard. Clements up to 13th position overall, 7th. That puts him in the silver, so points there to be taken. Chloe Hazel still pestering away behind Wilson and Bossatelli. Bossatelli, Martins and Dudek's all changing positions then. It's Bossatelli in the McLaren now finds himself behind Zacek. Jose Martins, who started down at the back after serving a quali ban, managed to sail his way through the lap 1 incident and then finds himself in 8th position. Bossatelli trying to hang on to the back of the BMW, and I mean he really is hanging on the back of that BMW. Let's see just how close he gets out of the last corner. That's a big run by both of them. Martins is not too far behind, but not really getting the slipstream that Bossatelli is getting there. The BMW Zacek moving over and trying to shake that slipstream. Seems to have done the job because he's far enough ahead in the braking zone to maintain that position. There's Wilson coming into pits in the BMW. That's going to be his pit stop done and dusted. Nice and early, 48 minutes in these conditions, no problem at all for these cars, 27 degrees, so the track temperature is rising. In fact, it's gone up a degree in the last 12 minutes, so yeah, that is a bit of a jump, as we see Esteban all over the back of Tassonato. Another driver that served a quali ban, now finds himself up in the 14th position. Oh! And he's lost it there, just full-on driver error. He's going to have to hold his brakes for quite some time. Oh, the car just over-rotated on the curb. Yeah, and you can see his own car in the rear view mirror there. That's a graphical glitch we've never seen before. But yeah, so Tassonato, having to right the car on the grass, absolutely nothing worse. And the wee yellow flags for the rest of the cars. There's the BMW of Aiken. Catching up there, just running off to make sure he avoids contact. Bossatelli still chasing Zacek. Bjorkman still destroying the rest of the field, quite frankly. 5.4 seconds is the gap that he's got. He's just done a 45.2, so he literally only 2/10ths slower than the fastest lap he has posted so far. Incredible consistency. Pietro Breccia got the bump onto the emergency slip road, 5.6 seconds down, that's 2.5 seconds up on Ian Lance, who dispatched of Richard Walters. Chloe Hazel not quite able to keep pace with Walters over the last couple of laps. That gap there extended out to 1.6 seconds. Thomas Bossatelli definitely not done with the battle with Zacek then. He knows this is for the final podium position. In the silver class, 4 of the silvers inside the top 10, and in fact leader of, oh no, let's watch Selishev. Selishev, I was about to say, Howard inside the top 10, Selishev looking to potentially put paid to that at the minute. Selishev's just dropped in water. So he was going for the overtake close to the Lamborghini. Oh, so through Eurocar, absolutely no problem whatsoever through the RACC chicane. And then out the last corner. So what's going on here then? We'll find out momentarily, I'm sure. The Ferrari chasing the Aston Martin into turn 1, the Lamborghini putting up a good chase as well. So this is going to be close in turn number 1. And there we go. Yep, contact on the way to turn number 1, and that lost him all his momentum there. And that is why we saw him lose those position. Christian Wood making it through very nicely indeed there. So the side-by-side not quite working out there. And it has dropped him down. A couple of positions. Ryan Clements flying in the Audi is closing up quickly to the group ahead. So Selishev, he needs to make sure he hangs on to that slipstream. He's got Nico Dudek still ahead of him. Howard still leading the way in the arms, still inside the top 10. He's got a bit of breathing space back to Dudek now. Absolute light years between Bjorkman and Breccia, 5.9, so that gap is increasing. Bossatelli finding himself under all kinds of pressure then from Jose Martins. Let's jump on board with a Honda. Oh, he's got a bit close. Oh no, for a disqualification for speeding in the pit lane. Oh, and the other two have run wide then, so Bossatelli and Zajac not quite positioning the cars cleverly there at all. Jose Martins has got this one absolutely banged to rights then, and that is what happens if you're the third car. You're always in the best position, because as soon as the two ahead try to move on one another, it opens up a space, and that is beautifully done by Martin. Saw that coming a mile off, and he gets himself between Bossatelli and Zajac. Will Zajac be grateful? We shall find out very soon. Will Martins apply more pressure than Bossatelli does? They've got 34 minutes left to come into the pits with 44 minutes left of the race. And they're unbelievably close in the background there. I was actually holding my breath there. Jose Martins has got a McLaren part right on his back seat. It's still very close down the rest of the field as well. Apologies, I feel like I'm doing a disservice to some of the drivers that we've got down the field. We've got some great battles still going on down the field. Mishan Wallace has been in and out of the pits. He now finds himself in 31st position overall. Well, it was actually Alan Fox that was looking for him and Kashira. Look at how much quicker Fox is at the minute than Kashira ahead of him, but he cannot get that overtake done. And Conrad C as well, although just as I'm saying that, this is surely into the cakes. It got to be the move. Looks for the outside line. The BMW is going to have to hold that inside line, and that's exactly where he needs to be. And I'll tell you what, as Conrad getting the move done ahead. So nicely done there as Aiken. Oh no, sorry, Aiken did hold on to the position. It's Conrad that is behind him still. Kashira bunching up. So yeah, still a phenomenal group between the battles. Still a phenomenal battle between the groups further down the field. Oh, and there's a clumsy touch there as we see Fox round at the last corner. We can see one of those BMWs coming in to the pits. So unfortunate contact there. Just sent the car round the wrong way, looking to come into the pits. Got spun. It's still close with this group here. Martins is well ahead. Is coming under pressure then from Bossatelli, looking to regain the position he had, but Martins takes the inside line. The McLaren round the outside on that sausage curve. They've made it through there side by side. Oh, the McLaren. That is some extremely close driving between the two of them. I wasn't sure what to call there. On the way through Bankstand the ball and into RACC, these two. No quarter given nor asked between these two. Oh, the back of the McLaren's let go. The back of the McLaren just let go there. Caught potentially on the edge of the dirty air. Oh, he just misses the left-hand apex. A bit of extra rotation on the car, and that is Bossatelli out with this battle. Martins and Zajac then will continue onwards. Wood and Clements are still battling away as well. These two very close. Nicholas Klaus, it looks like he's going to finish the race in the pits. Unfortunately, Aymer, the driver, disqualified for the driving for the pit lane infringements. Aaron there just unlapping himself. Oh no, sorry, just being lapped by that. Aiken Kashira on his way out of the pits. On their way out of the pits. 27th position, that's Mishan Wallace that's just gone through, so we'll let that sort itself out. So I think that's Wallace back up to 27th, 29th. So not as many places there, but we've got more cars coming in the pits, so more places. Tassinato is in the pits. Oh, and that is some damage on the front. Oh, and there's an RTG. Just an RTG as well. I'm not sure if that was... Oh no, sorry, that was Aiken just being dropped and leaving the pits. So it's all happening 20 minutes in, some early pit stops. The track temperature is up to 28 degrees, so it has been getting gradually hot. The opening 20 minutes has gone up, so it's a degree a minute it's going up. If it continues at that rate, it's going to be well over 30 degrees by the time the drivers get to the end of the race. So tyre cooling could certainly be an issue, although they've got a much wider range since the 1.9 update. Look at how close this lot is. Ryan Clements closing up onto the back. Christian Wood in the Aston Martin. Oh, And this is another stop go for speeding in the pit lane. And it is Tassinato then, so quali ban and a drive-through. Not a great race. Oh, so much more pace here. Selishchev almost losing it. Oh! And that's the McLaren. That's Bossatelli. Oh, he's collected a Porsche there as well. Let's see what happened with Bossatelli then. And he's definitely down on the Honda at this point. Oh, so he's... Okay, so he has... He's missed his brakes on the way into the RACC. He stayed out then. He missed the apex on the exit at the last corner as well, New Holland. He did keep it between the Mayo and the Mustang. He's got the Lamborghini comfortably behind him and no one close to him then as you see him heading into turn 1, unless it's someone exiting the pits, which it is not into turn number 1. Mounts the curves on the left. Oh, there we go. Halfway through turn 1 on the curbing. And through Elf, he's been put on a shelf. Oh! Not the best rejoin there. He did collect a Porsche as he was bringing the car back round. We've got more cars coming into the pits, of course. Baloo in the McLaren Tassinato behind with a drive-through. He's just collected. Look there in the Bentley. So Wilson's been spun as Tassinato's trying to come into the pits to take his stop go 32nd. That's likely, ironically, to catch him a little bit of a penalty as well. Wilson now under serious pressure of losing a couple of positions here. Esteban comes in. It's non-stop action. Esteban in at the pits from 15th position. Bossatelli did manage to stay just ahead there after that incident. Ryan Clements still closing in on Christian Wood. In fact, according to this, because that's Howard I'm looking at. Of course, yeah, that's Harry Howard that we're looking at there. Wood is behind Clements in the Audi. There's Christian there on his way down into Seat. Jose Martins then. The driver that was under pressure from Bossatelli. Bossatelli now down from 8th to 14th position. So a big drop there, but what this has done is fairly unleashed Jose Martins in the Honda. As you can see, really seriously giving chase to Sebastian Zajac ahead. And in fact, if we jump back on board Christian Wood, we can see into the cakes. He's still keeping in touch with Clements. Clements definitely starting to put pressure on Howard, the ARM class leader. Ian Lance still third place. Oh, we're going to go side by side through RACC. Surely not. No, we're not. The Audi definitely thinks better of that. Which is definitely a winning race strategy, that is for sure. Start finish there then. Christian Wood looking to get some slipstream. Clements definitely getting some slipstream there from Howard. Is he going to be close enough into turn 1? I don't think he is. He's definitely going to be applying pressure. He's right out on that left hand side. He's going to need to be careful. Open the corner up beautifully there. Carries so much more momentum through. Almost bump drafted on the way out. Let's see just how close he's getting. In fact, he's going to go round outside. Did lose a bit of momentum there in case he was going to run wide. The Aston Martin tears off into the lead, and that puts Wood right back in the hunt once again. Speaking of being back in the hunt, actually, Jay Salgarkar, a driver we kind of lost, or I've certainly lost track of over the race. He was involved in that opening incident, and he finds himself back up into second place in class. Does still have his pit stop to take, so it'll be interesting to see exactly how that irons itself out. Of course, Mishan Wallace was less than a tenth behind him in qualifying, and side by side with him at the start of the race. He's come in and taken his pit stop. Currently running 26th, but a lot of drivers again ahead of him still to take their pits, so we'll see how many positions he can make back up. Putting in some good lap times at the minute, certainly quicker than a decent amount of the drivers ahead of him. So a lot of positions to be made. He's got Goncalves ahead of him. He is about half a second quicker than Goncalves, so he'll get a bit of slipstream and get past him. Goncalves, though, may be coming into the pits pretty soon. 34 minutes of the race, 24 minutes left to take those pit stops. Jay Fraser chasing down Nagy. Oh, there we go, some of the top 10 coming in. It's Zajac making his way into the pits. Let's get back on board with Nagy. Oh, he's just got the move done there on Oscar. Oh no, he's not. That's a different Aston Martin. It's Jay Fraser. It does look like Jay carrying a bit of damage there on that front bumper. Couldn't quite get close enough around the outside of the cakes. That opens a corner up. Can he get a good turn back here? Well, doesn't quite use as much of the track as he potentially could. Drew Downing, who was right up in the top 15 early doors, now finds himself 18th position. Chasing this little group ahead. Bjorkman, absolutely nothing has slowed his pace up at the front. He has carved his way through the traffic. His last lap while making his way past 4 cars, 1 minute 45.8. Although that one there he did lose a bit of time making his way through the cars there, 47.0. Still got 23 minutes to take his pit stop, but at the minute, with that Porsche behind there, getting a little bit close there. Drew Downing, Lamborghini on Honda there for 15th position. This is for 4th place, in fact, in the AM class. A lot of the AMs finishing well ahead of the Silvers. Of course, the early incident likely to have promoted that as well. Mason Wallace still not quite past Goncalves. He will get past him as soon as Goncalves comes in to take his pit stop, of course. Will it be on this lap? Oh, Downing, let's check back there because he is close. Oh, he was through camps there, but he seems to have lost momentum. Oh, and the Honda's going to lose momentum there. He was a bit far out on that sausage curve. And ahead, in fact, as well, Dudek in 7th place. Another Honda involved in some accidents. Jose Martin's there. He's had a good charge through the field. Some good overtakes so far. Dudek now applying some pressure as best he can. You can hear those engines right round. Hopefully the sound and the picture are all coming through nice and clearly. Harry Howard, I tell you, that would be quite the introduction to the series. Oh, sorry, not to the series. He didn't race last week, but yeah, he qualified 3rd place in the AMS. Now finds himself in 1st with one of the Silvers right behind him. Downing still applying pressure to Nagy and Goncalves. Having a bit of a wiggle there, has been overtaken by Mission Wallace. Let's see how this one played itself out then. Along the start-finish straight, that is heading towards turn number 1. I'm so impressed with drivers. Oh, the Porsche getting a bit light in the tail there, and that is through turn 1 then. So the Porsche losing grip, the Ferrari finding all the grip. And that is a nice move there by Mission Wallace. He was going to get that one done anyway when Goncalves came into the pits. Oh, and there again, the back of the Porsche just getting a little bit light there on Goncalves. May want to come in and get that tyre change done sooner rather than later. Doesn't want to lose too much time. Even if your closest rival isn't actually that close to you on track, if there's still pit stops to take, there are still gaps that can drop. Bjorkman not taking his pit stop yet, he is still out and right in the thick of the traffic as well. There's Howard coming in from the lead of the AMS, putting Salgakar back up on to the top spot. Now, is he going to come in straight away, or is he going to stay out? He's got 20 minutes to make that decision. As Nagy and Fraser, they two still doing battle. They're all going to make their way past Howard, so Howard is going to come back out Much further down the overall order. Oh, drive through for track limits. Oh, it's Wallou, drive through for track limits. He's got a couple of cars going past him, and he has got the arm leader coming out the pits as well. That was... Oh, so Mission Wallace is well down then. If we're having a look at this, Howard, it's currently showing him in 18th, what is he, 21st position. So he is behind a vast majority of the armed drivers at the minute. They've all still taken their pits, of course. But he is ahead of Wallace. There's Christian Wood coming in the pits. Jose Martins into the pits. Bjorkman, race leader, into the pits. And in fact, he's already on his way out of the pits. That's how quick he is. We can't even catch him on his way into the pits. He's already done, dusted, and on his way back out. Dudek is through. He's not going to lose too many places overall either. Very, very slick indeed. Becchia, sorry. And Ian Lance in as well. Martins in, Wood in, Bossatelli all into the pits. Nagy and Fraser could well be joining them. 18 minutes left still, yep, and Nagy's come in as well. 28 minutes left of the race, so all coming in pretty much bang on. The halfway mark, Jay Fraser fires himself into the pits as well. So if we thought the timing tower changed a lot during lap 1, fingers crossed, keeping up with this lot. Richard Walters is leading the way then, with Hazel in second place, currently leading the silvers. It's Dudek third overall, and Selishev 4 silvers in the top 5. And 5th, Jay Salgakar in the arms. Walters comes into the pits. I want to see what Salgakar does here. 27 minutes to the left. It looks like the vast majority of drivers opting for the 50-50 option. Is Salgakar going to do the same? Yes, he is. Right, so the race is on. Nagy, Fraser, Seth Johnson's come in the pits as well. So too is Alan Fox. Harry Howard is the driver we are keenly waiting on. He was in the lead of the race and got on. We've got a stop go for Jay Fraser. That's the third penalty we've seen handed out by the in-game stewards. 2 of them have been stopped with 30 seconds. One of them's been a drive-through for track limits. Jay Fraser, the second driver to pick up that penalty. There is Howard, already saying he's back up to 15th overall. Salgakar still in the pits. However, this is for the lead. Oh, in fact, I'll tell you what. Chloe Hazel is in the lead of the silvers. Oh, of course, I'm looking at the arms. Haha, yes, that's what I'm paying attention to. Yeah, so my apologies, it does look like Salgakar is in the lead. I was looking at the wrong cars here. Chloe Hazel, she is behind Lance. There we go, I was going to say, yeah, no, so she is, but she's only 2.4 seconds behind Lance, as we see a Lamborghini just getting off track to let the quicker cars through. It's running a bit wide and a bit much space. But Salgakar, with the pace that he's showing, he has got himself ahead. So he got the overtake done during the pit stops, but Salgakar, what a drive that's been. Up at the front, Selishev comes into the pits from the silvers. Bjorkman comfortably back out. That's Mission Wallace, of course, just ahead of him. Wallace 21st. Overall 6th place, but he's going to get 5th back when Jay Fraser comes in to serve that stop go 32nd, and he might get past Downing as well. So he is looking potentially at a podium. Downing is moving, so too though. Ultra high speed is Mission Wallace. Where is he on my timing board? No, we've missed him. But yes, Wallace has made up that position on Downing as well. Then there we can see Downing is actually 22nd overall. As we can see the Honda of Nagy just coming past as well. Fraser into the pits to serve his pit stop. Ryan Clements all over the back of Salgakar then. The two Audis going in it. Selashev still in the pits. Taking his stop. Zajac inside the top 10, 7/10 behind Esteban, the same as Ambersley behind Wilson at the minute. You can see Salgakar trying to break that slipstream. Conrad in the pits, losing those positions. Selashev will as well, though he is on his way back out of the pits. In fact, he's well out of the pits there. Conrad on his way out as well. Zajac with that big that increasing gap there. Ambersley and Wilson, these two are close after coming out the pits, and Clements has got that one done. So you can see then into turn number 1, and very close indeed. He did well to hold on to that one there. Really got a good wrestle on that steering wheel. Throw it over to the left. Got a good opening up of the corner then. And you can just see the extra acceleration he's managed to get there. Goes side by side as they head towards the bridge, and that is job done. Not much battling there from Salgakar. Why we need this one. Won't lose him any points in the championship. He is leading the race for the arms. It is Howard who is in second place. And it is actually KC Conrad who's come back out of the pits. Oh no, in fact he's not. It is Mason Wallace who is in third place. The timing tower will reflect that momentarily. Oscar has just got himself ahead of Drew Downing as well. Some more moves getting done on that start-finish straight. Yeah, pulled along nicely in the slipstream. And right alongside, oh, he's got his nose clearly in front there. Beautiful rotation again on the car. And that is Oscar getting that move done then. He's got Nagy ahead of him. He's not wasting any time closing in there. Augustovskis has got the BMW. Oh no, that's a blue flag, sorry. It's Johnson in the McLaren. He was closing in there, but it's a blue flag. Martin's in 13th place. Is caught up to Harry Howard. So Howard came back out of the pits and he's ahead of Martins. I think Martins has had a bit of a spin, or doesn't he? Just been an overtake then. Let's just keep an eye and see how close these two get. Oh, into the ACC chicane. Howard so much later on the brakes there. Chasing him down though, the Honda right in the slipstream. Aston Martin moving over, sending him around the outside if he wants that position. Not quite able to make it stick. Oh, and the car almost did stick there. Full lateral motion on the Honda there. Did well to gather that one up. The new 1.9 patch is a lot more forgiving than drivers might realise, and I think we've just seen a massive example of that there. Martin's fully grateful he managed to grab onto that Honda there. That was very nearly a one-way trip into El Barriere. There is Bjorkman just making his way past Mission Wallace, who is back up into the top 3. So the top 3 in the arms is the same top 3 that qualified the top 3, just in a slightly different order. Howard and Wallace, the two drivers that have changed position there. Augustovskis in the Ferrari is getting ever closer to Johnson ahead. Johnson on a good first stint. Nagy still hanging on at the back of Oscar. A few drivers finishing in the pits, unfortunately. Aaron Kraus, two of them, 35 left. We've got 38. Coney, Aaron. Oh yeah, Aaron and Kraus. There's Riley bringing up the rear at the moment. Charlie Thornton in the Audi. the rear silver driver at the moment. It is Wallou. There's it, we're tracking 31st. Kane and Goncalves. Okay, 29th overall, 7th in the silvers with Jay Fraser and Tassinato having served that penalty. That's Bossatelli, he's got behind him, so that'll be blue flags. He will pop himself quickly out of the way. Cachero and Alan Fox. Oh, and that is another blue flag. The number 18 car, there's Downing, Nagy and Oscar. Seth Johnston, the camera not quite able to keep up there, is closing in on Augustus still, with KC just ahead of them. And in fact, Bossatelli and Howard, he's got that move done, so let's have another look at this one then. Squeezed him right over there. Did get the car rotated though. Oh, the Aston Martin not quite getting the pull out in the corner, and the McLaren ably getting that one done. And that is a blue flag. Honda behind them, because next on track to them is Selashev. He is a fair bit down the road at the moment, but that is Howard, 14th overall, but still second in the silver class. Bossatelli making back positions in the silver. Sorry, Howard in the arms, Bossatelli in the silvers. Silvers still being led by Ian Lance. 4th place overall. He was comfortably in 3rd for a while, but then the pit stops have ironed themselves out. Finds himself in that 4th place overall, but still leading the way. Chloe Hazel still well in touch of the lead at the minute, and these two lapping almost identical times at the minute. Could not be closer between the two of them. Absolutely nothing to choose in the closing stages. Esteban is in 3rd place in the silver, Zacek in 4th, and Christian Wood in 5th position, and Ryan Clements there in 6th, Dudek in 7th, and Bossatelli as I said in 8th place. And there's Clements in that Audi all over the back of Wood. He's looking for an improvement in his position there. Oh no, sorry, that's a blue flag, BMW again. That is a BMW from further down the order, so Clements, yeah, still making his way inside that top 10. Dudek is closing in, but not on Salgacar. So, oh, he has just got himself ahead of Salgacar, so that is what changed on one telemetry and not on the other. So yeah, so this is Dudek making his way past the arm leader Salgacar. Again, you don't imagine there's going to be too much defending from Salgacar. He knows he's got the lead in class. Look how close the car's ahead of him. That was 7th place just going into Lakatsa. And yeah, very easily done there for Dudek into Lakatsa. So 10th place overall for Dudek. Oh, no way! Harry Howard has disconnected. If you rejoin, you'll get back in, but you will have to wait 2 minutes, but you will at least finish the race and get yourself some points. Oh, that's heartbreaking stuff. Yeah, if you can try and get back in and see what you can do. But yeah, that is an absolute nightmare situation. So that's promoted Conrad then up to 3rd place in the silvers out of absolutely nowhere. There's Howard rejoining. Oh, O'Reilly's getting a drive-through for track limits. So O'Reilly then picking up the drive-through for track limits. So down the order, Howard, they're going to have to wait that 2-minute penalty as well. 5 minutes left of the pit stops. Everyone has been in and taken their pits. Bjorkman with a comfortable lead over the rest of the field. 24 laps into this one, and he is Yeah, head and shoulders quicker, half a second quicker than Walters on that last lap, so still finding time in the closing stages. 13 seconds is the gap. Dudek trying to improve his position inside the top 10, the big group of cars ahead. Not all of this is for position, there's Wood in there as well. Oh, and that's Salga car. So Salga car is now ahead of Dudek then. There's one of the BMWs just quickly getting out of the way. Salga car is going to lose this one here because that's a very good exit by the Lamborghini. He's got no choice but to go side by side there as Wood is ahead of them. Trying to fend off these positions. He has got some serious work on his hands at the moment with these two battling behind him. Zajacz's position looking ever more comfortable. Gustavstis as well trying to get past Conrad. That won't be for points, just be for overall position. But these three so close to the ACC chicane once again. Salgacar, the car at the back, he is leading the way in the silver, so he knows he doesn't have to do anything crazy. Wood and Clements though, Dudek and Wood, the drivers we can see on. Also, that was Salga. Oh, that was Clements losing position in the background. Of course, him and Salgacar are in the same colour car. So it is a three-way battle for position then of the spoiler. I just need, bear with me 2 moments, I'll just leave this battle on. Getting ever so slightly stretched out then. The Lamborghini is ahead, so I missed that one, so let's jump back on board. Oh, and there was a wayward McLaren there, that was Baloo there in the background. A little bit of collateral damage. Dudek closing in on Wood on the way through Wurth then, and with the Lamborghini, a fellow Lamborghini driver just ahead of him as well. That's something got really loud. So again, the Lamborghini showing a great exit from Kamsa, closing right up on the brake. Oh, big send up to inside, so much later on the brakes, and absolutely 100% making that one stick. Beautiful move by the Lambo to see an improvement in position in class then. There is Bjorkman still absolutely flying up at the front. Richard Walters in second place, and it is Pietro Becchia in third position. Oh, that's a BMW. That's gone wayward then into turn number 1. It wasn't Evans. Howard is back out with track. That's absolutely heartbreaking. Oh, Ambersley coming in to take a drive through as well. Howard is back on track. He was on the podium. But he will finish the race and at least get his points for that. As we can see, Oscar all over the back of Gustavskis. Into turn number 1 again. The slipstream along the start-finish straight, beautifully used. Oh, and the Ferrari looking for the cutback. He's going to be rounded outside on the exit. Unbelievable driving there from them both, and that is a phenomenal position there. You see Gustavskis just snakes the way right back around the outside again. The Aston temporarily in front, but the Ferrari holding him off beautifully there. Still pretty close with the drivers ahead as well. It's going to be all change here. Salgacar in the Audi. You can see Martin's ahead. There is a blue flag there. That is a and the Aston has lost the back end of the car there. The Hondas have run over those exit curbs. And that is, well, it wasn't Oscar, it was Conrad there, sorry. It was all over the place. Gustavskis still ahead of Oscar then. Oscar looking for a counter move in the same corner as the previous lap, not to be. He's held on to that one nicely indeed. We've got Jay Fraser still looking for improvements in his position as well. He's got Passanato ahead of him. Down in Sia. Oh wow, that was well, yeah, so yeah, big send there, made contact, got spun, and that is the end of that attempt at a position. Jose Martins, trying to find the way still past the Bossatelli. Big gap between the pros. Yeah, they're making their way through the blue flag trap. It's spreading them back out again. So that could play right into Bossatelli's hands. He's still trying to get his way past Christian Wood, but he's got a fair gap to make up. He's getting some slipstream from those cars behind him. Into the last 10 minutes. Pit stops all well and truly done. And Robert Bjorkman has absolutely got the job done. Still putting in some very quick laps, although Richard Walters as well, 145.3, so only a tenth of his personal fastest lap of the race so far, which in itself is only 2/10 slower than Bjorkman. So Walters definitely shown some serious pace as well, and in fact he's closed in as they're making their way through the traffic. He's actually found 2 or 3 seconds on Bjorkman. The gap now down to 11 seconds, and while doing that he's extended the gap to Becchia there at 7 seconds it is. It's Lance in 4th leading the way in the silvers, Hazel in 2nd, and it's Jorge Esteban in 3rd place, Zacek in 4th, and in the arms it is Jay Salgakar back up to the front after that lap 1 incident, and Mishan Wallace re-promoted to 2nd place after Harry Howard cruelly disconnected from the server. And what that's also done then is put Seth Johnston in the McLaren up in 3rd place. So Seth on for a podium at the moment. He's got Ambersley just behind him, but Ambersley in the silver, so if he does get overtaken here, he still won't lose out on that podium. Mishan Wallace, we know how quick he is. He qualified inside the top 10, 5 places ahead of the driver ahead of him at the minute. That is Luke Wilson. Can he get a final overtake done? And in fact, while I'm saying that, Chloe Hazel absolutely not giving up on the win. Suddenly finds herself within 7/10 of the top spot, and they've got some blue flags to make their way through as well. Can she use that to her advantage? Get herself onto the top spot of the podium out of Campsat. The BMW ahead, really late apex in that there. Oh, Chloe right out on that exit curve. Let's see what happens into La Cakesa. Mishan Wallace all over the back of Wilson as well, but this is for the win in the silver class. We'll keep our eyes here for the moment. Still got 5 minutes to get this done. There's only got 3 laps left. Them making their way past the Aston. And out to the last corner. Oh, drive through for track limit. Oh, Johnson on the podium in the arms, and he's picked himself up a drive through for track limits. heartbreaking stuff for Johnson in the dying embers of the race. 3 laps left to go. He's picked up a drive-through, and that is going to give Akos Nagy in the Honda a podium, if he can keep it together. Of course, he's got Conrad, BMW, who we know is quick, but we've seen him off track a couple of times. He is carrying a bit of damage at the moment, but if he can muster himself, 1.7 seconds is the gap there that he's got to overturn. He could be on for a podium here, with Johnson picking up that penalty. Bossatelli still looking to get himself inside the top 10. We saw him have an off-track excursion. He's picked up the pieces since then, and he's back within half a second of Christian Wutke. This is the battle for 7th place in class. Mason Wallace still all over the back of Luke Wilson as well. And in fact, Chloe Hazel still applying the pressure. They haven't made their way past the other back marker yet. We can see how close Chloe is getting. This one again for the win in the silver class. 4th overall. Oh, so much later on the brakes on the way into the ACC chicane. Needs a good New Holland exit here, and it's going to be Chloe who's primely poised it with that blue flag. She's going to be getting the double slipstream effect. It's just right on the back of BMW. Ian Lance, he's led the way in the silvers from start to finish. At one point was up to 3rd position. We've got 2-3 laps left. As he pops out and tries to get in front of the Ferrari, who's not making that the easiest. Gustafskis, I believe that is. 17th position. So yeah, he definitely will be getting the blue flags waved up. Wallace has made it past Wilson. Let's see if we can get a quick look at that. Oh, and this time no slipstream on the start-finish straight. He's saying, oh no, in fact it was, though. There was side-by-side out in New Holland, but it was slipstream along the start-finish straight. The Bentley moving over to the left-hand, to the right-hand side to take the inside line. The Ferrari right at the last second pops out. Oh, right round the outside on the brakes as he managed to keep it between the Mayo and the Mustard. He has indeed just about keeps it in, almost making contact with the Bentley, who had a lot more momentum through the corner there, but Wallace did make that one stick then. And that has in him up a position. This is where we left the battle between Hazel and Lance. Augustus just ahead of them. I think that is a position just behind them, so we'll see what happens when we go live. At the moment, it is still Lance that is ahead. For some reason, there we go. Augustus is getting out of the way. Chloe Hazel following them straight through as well. We have got 1 minute left to go. Sorry, 1 minute 50 left to go. Hazel still all over the back then of Ian Lance. Half a second to separate these two. Bossatelli as well, all over the back of Christian Wutke still. And in fact, I think he's just got that overtake done there as well. He has indeed. Lakeksa, I believe it was the Campsa exit here, all important for Bossatelli. Oh, and I think that was more Wutke running wide, because that's from way downtown if he manages to get this one to stick here. Yeah, the Aston not quite getting the grip, and the McLaren zipping on through. And that is Bossatelli finally getting that overtake done. Jose Martin's not far behind, and in fact Jose Martin's up the inside of turn 1. Oh, and he almost threaded that needle there. Keeps the car, doesn't keep the position, and then loses it on exit. Oh, and that's a big contact with the wall. And that is Martin's into the wall. He's going to have to watch that rejoin. Pulls his brakes on perfectly timed there. I'll show the driver behind. Got a bit of a panic there. Hazel and Lance are still going in. We'll jump back on board there, but he's had the least camera time. Let's at least see him take the checkered flag. Robert Bjorkman, 33 extremely successful laps in the bag. He crosses the line. Oh no, 31 seconds to go. It did say the leader was on the final lap. The leader is on the final lap now then, so there will be another lap. Let's check and see what's going on with Hazel and Lance. Still the closest two on track. In fact, there's still another couple of battles going on further down the field. We'll going to keep an eye on this one because it is, as I keep saying, the win for the Silvers on the line. Back onto that passenger car for Chloe Hazel's McLaren. Ian Lance doing everything he can. In fact, Esteban then coming under pressure from Zajac then. His podium not secure by any means necessary. Oscar out the pits as well. Sorry, Oscar applying the pressure to Augustus. Oh, Chloe Hazel's clipped the sausage curb. And that could be the end of that battle then. I'm thinking it is. I would say that one is done and dusted. That's going to open up a big gap. Can Simon Zajac get something done on the last lap again? It's going to be a big ask if he does. Calves is still chasing, and I think he's just got the move done on Fox, which he has. But let us give Robert Bjorkman some of this much deserved camera time. He has had an incredible race, as I just said, and he is definitely coming into Sector 3 for the final time at Askin. Oh, there's going to be overtakes. You know we're going to miss them. Simon Zajac. Oh, he's not quite close enough at the moment. We'll have another quick look at that. But here is Robert Bjorkman coming through the final few corners. And that is New Holland, and that is 34 laps done and dusted. He's got himself the fastest lap, and he's got himself another race win and solidifies his grip on the top of the table. It's going to be Richard Walters who's going to round the final corner in second position. Mishan Wallace just behind. I think he's going to get the checkered flag a lap down. So there is Wallace cross the line to take second in the arms. Let's see what Zajac is saying to it. Has he got the move done on the Porsche? He's not. Ian Lance is going to cross the line. Congratulations, Ian. Hard fought win in the end, but it is the top spot, and again strengthens the grip on his at the top spot of the championship. Chloe Hazel crossing the line in second place, and Jorge Esteban did manage to fend off the advances of Simon Zajac at the end and confirm his podium position. In the arms, no mean feat whatsoever. Jace Algacar finding himself rounding the last corner on the top spot. That must have seemed like an impossible task after the lap 1 incident that he was caught up in. Mishan Wallace a lap down, finishing in second position, and it is Conrad who got himself third place in the arms. So congratulations there, managed to fend off Nagy right at the end. There we go, love to see it. Some donuts coming up there from Bjorkman. There is the timetable though that confirms it was Bjorkman, Walters and Beckia taking the top 3 spots for the pros and the top 3 spots overall. Lance, Hazel and Esteban taking the top 3 spots for the Silvers, and in the arms it was Salgacar and Wallace 1-2 once again, and it was Conrad who got himself that third position. Incredible racing once again. 37 started, quite a few managed to finish. That's not what we're looking for. That's what we're looking for. So yeah, so congratulations to the 3 podiums for the pros, the Silvers and the arms. Let's bring up some highlights. That was round number 5. Note to self, make sure it's not the wrong highlights. There we go. Yeah, so it is, that was round number 5, Barcelona. We've got Bathurst next up, the 23rd of July. Make sure you set your calendars for that one. That is going to be an incredible battle around the mountain. Then it will be Misano, Kailami, Zolder, Suzuka, Donington and Spa, all the way up to the 3rd of December. There we go then, the 1 hour in the bag. Beautiful racing involved and some great podiums, some great battles, and yeah, a big lap 1 incident that really shook things up, as you can see there. Oh, so easily done around a high speed corner like that. But vast majority made it to the end. And congratulations as well to Harry Howard for rejoining after being disconnected. Heartbreaking stuff there, mate. But yeah, good to see you got back in. Well, there we go then. Round number 5 in the bag. That's all we've got time for. This was Formula GT Racing Season 1, round number 5. My name is Double O Raven. I hope you enjoyed the racing action as much as I did. And I'll see you again next time for Bathurst. Till then, stay safe, take it easy.